Good morning, everyone. It's Mich here. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, thanks for stopping by. And if you are returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you. Today, I will be doing another page in the Junk Journal July 2024. It is a challenge that the prompts, the one that I'm doing, the prompts were set by Meg Journals. I will put her details in the description box below. So she set a daily prompt, and then to make it a little bit more personal for myself, I've set a keyword which I have done a affirmation around. So today is day 8, and Meg has set observe as the prompt, and my kind of random draw assigned faith to today's prompt. So I have created all the other pages. I think that one was cute. So here we are on this page. So to start the day, my affirmation is, I have faith in my ability to build the life I've always dreamed of. So when I do my affirmation, I like to take a deep breath, exhaling all that negativity. I find sometimes just taking a deep breath relaxes my body. And then just kind of think about my affirmation. Now, I know a lot of people are going through things, and sometimes it's hard to get through the day-to-day. So if it would be helpful to kind of change the affirmation a little bit to, I have faith in my ability to face today and cope with the challenges that it brings. That would be another good affirmation as well. So it was a little challenging to put Meg's prompt, observe, in not just in light of my affirmation, but sort of observe is kind of abstract, I guess. So I was kind of thinking about faith and observing, and I thought a great way to do my spread today would be to create a little booklet that we can write down how we observe our faith, or how we meet each challenge, or if you've lost faith, maybe why you've lost faith. And it can be faith in anything. It could be faith in God, the universe. It can be faith in your co-worker, in your family, your husband or wife, your children. So if you're dealing with faith in any way, then I just thought it would be good to have a little booklet to write down some thoughts. So that's kind of how I wanted to focus my spread today. So I did create a little book, and for my journal, it was about 4 1/4. So I took a piece of paper, 8, 4 1/4, 8 1/2, and then it measures about 5 3/4, and that kind of would fit in my page. So I have started it, and I just have cut the pages, and then I'm going to sew them in. You don't have to sew them. You can staple them or glue them in, or just put a little thread around it and tie it so that they slip in and out. But for this one, I just measured the center and then 1 inch on each side. And I was debating whether I wanted the knot on the outside or inside, but I think I want it on the outside for this one. And I've already gone along. I have this little box of bookbinding stuff that I bought quite a long time ago, and it has still served me. And it's I got it on Amazon, and it has everything you really need. It has your awl, some waxed twines, your needles, bone folders, every little thing. If I remember, I'll link it in the description box below. I felt that it was good value for money, and I've been using it for, gosh, I've had it quite a while. Now, this twine that I'm using didn't come in the box, but but there's a lot others that do. When I measure for my length of twine or string or whatever you're going to use, I generally go 3 times the length of what I'm going to need. And that gives me a little bit extra to play with if I want to add beads or if it gets caught up. And that's not very tight, but it'll do. You want to make sure that that gets really tight. But I think that since I've already tied it, I'll worry about it later. And I always kind of just use clips to keep it in place, so we'll take those off. So that's my little booklet. So it was now about how I would decorate it, as I didn't just want to put that in my book. But before I get started, this page that I used that for these pages here came from a Bible dictionary, and it's really old, so I need to reinforce that spine. And I didn't really want to. I kind of wanted to leave the page as it was, but I found this washi tape that I thought would work really well. And I'm thinking that I already reinforced the back side of it, but it just didn't really seem like it was going to be heavy enough to hold it. So I thought, well, let's reinforce that before I get anything else down on the page, just in case. And I'm just going to cut that end off there. I hope everybody is doing well. Today's another overcast day. I'm in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Sorry about that. I'm having little problems with my iPad this morning. I'm not sure what's wrong with it. But as I was saying, I had gone to my scrap bin, got this little vellum piece of paper. I made a pocket. To make a pocket, just for now I've left, I think, about a ½ an inch. That's actually probably 3/4. It doesn't really matter. Where you're going to just do a fold and then cut down. I always slant the edges so that things going in will not get caught up on a straight edge. And then we'll just get this down. I'm glad you guys have been enjoying the videos. When I started the challenge, I thought, oh gosh, are they going to think it's too much to have a video every day? But I'm loving your comments, and I'm hoping to get to some this afternoon. Alright, so I'm just kind of trying to look at my sides, and it looks pretty evenly spaced on that page. So I've just used some score tape. I think score tape is the best tape in the history of tapes, to be honest. It just holds really well, and it's worth, it is a little extra money, I think, but I don't use it all that much. Okay, so I've got my envelope, or my pocket down, and then I have some die cuts. I did get them from Stampin' Up, and I don't think you can get them anymore, but they were the best die cuts. The best investment. I have used these so much. They're scalloped contour dies, and I just really love them. But you can, if you have deco scissors, you can cut around it, or other die cuts, or just cut a little panel out of pattern paper. But I really liked that, so I'm just going to get that down. And again, I think for this I don't need heavy duty tape because it's not going to be under a lot of stress, so I can just use normal runner tape for this. I like using tape on vellum. Sometimes with glue, unless Fabri-Tac, not so much, but with a lot of other glues, it can shrink the vellum and cause a lot of warpage. So I tend to avoid glue right on the vellum. Okay, so let's see how we're doing here. And I am going to take that string off and fix it up later. I sometimes have another pair of tweezers that I hold a knot. Okay, I think that's kind of working. So, let's see here. So then I wanted to kind of decorate my book. So I went ahead and I have this stamp that's a faith stamp, and I cut out with this, it was a really cheap die cut set. I think I got it, I don't even know, maybe AliExpress, or maybe Amazon. It wasn't very expensive. So I cut out, just from a book page, I cut out one of the little flowery scallop things. And then I just cut one smaller, and this one I just cut from a little piece of graph paper, the same that I used for the inside. And I want to make sure this is right side up. This cover I just used from some scrap paper that I had. That's right side up there. Okay, and then I'm just going to get that there. I did distress the edges beforehand, so I just distressed them with some Distress Oxide, the Vintage Photo, which is my finger dauber. I tend to use the finger dauber for something smaller like this. So then the other thing that I did, and if you've watched me on Daphne's Diary, I did this for one of my layouts of Everything Has Beauty or something, and I made a magnifying glass. So to do that, I have some nesting dies, and I just cut out a couple of different little circlets, little frames, till I found the one that I kind of felt I liked the best. And I liked the big one. I'm not sure why, but I did. So then I just took some acetate. I think this was just some packaging that I had. I do have some acetate sheets, but I think for this one I just had acetate. And then I just cut around and traced it out. You can see there's a little lip there, but I wanted to leave a little lip so that I can put the handle on. And this handle I got from Daphne's Diary. So in that magazine, they often do like a focus on something, and they'll have a magnifying glass with a handle. So I cut that out of there, but you could always get one online, or like just find an image, or if you had something that you already own that has a really cool handle, you could always take a picture of it and cut it out. So I'm just going to leave that for a second to let that... Oh, here comes Chester. He hears me talking. Yeah. What? I'm talking, Chester. Yeah. He always likes to get his 2 cents worth in. Because I thought I would, as we're observing, we're going to put our faith under the microscope. Not the microscope, but we're really going to observe and focus in on that. So I'm just going to let that dry. But I'm just figuring out my placement so I can get my flower down. I think it would go good there. So I'm just going to glue that in place. Just tack it down. I think I might bring it down just a little bit. Okay, so then when we put our magnifying glass on it, it'll be something like that, which I think is kind of cool. All right, so I'm happy with that placement. So I'm really going to get some glue down on this, just because if it's going to be in and out of the pocket and opening up and closing, I just really want that on there. I'm just using Elmer's glue. It is the glue all though. The school glue has a lot of water content, so it does cause a lot more warpage. Okay, so we're just going to let our magnifying glass finish drying. And then, so what I did to kind of decorate this little bit is I just have this old flower punch, but you could use stickers, you could just cut out a little flower, you can find some flowers online, but I just thought that I would put some on the corners of our little pocket here, our little label, kind of up in that corner, and then another one down the bottom. And then I have some, I looked around for, initially I thought an enamel dot. I did want it in gold, which I don't have, but you can always take a gold marker pen or a metallic Sharpie or something, and you can just color your dot to what you like. So I considered that, which I do kind of like that in cream. And then I found these, and I liked these little gems because they're not really high. And I do like a bit of bling bling on my page. And I thought that it might go well with the gold. And then I found these gold sequins that I got last year at Michael's in a Christmas pack, I think, of paper and stuff that you could make things with. So I'm kind of thinking that I might like that, because I do like the flatness of that. I think I'll wait until we get the rest of it down. So then for my sentiment, I'm just going to cut it. I have faith. Because without faith in something, especially in yourself, you have to have faith in yourself. And I think the more challenges that face us, the stronger that we do get. And I don't think that's a cliche. I don't sometimes think we give ourselves enough credit. I have faith in my ability to build the life I've always dreamed of. So for me, I'd really like to get some weight off. I think that it would help my arthritis, and I'm struggling as a mid-50s person. In my younger days, I'd get to the gym, I'd be hiking and active, and you just can't do that when you need a knee and hip surgery, but there are things that I can do. So sometimes I fall into the victim mentality that I know I have struggles, but there are things that I can do, even if it's 10 minutes of doing an exercise bike or something. Okay, so I have faith in my ability to build the life I've always dreamed of. Or, faith in my ability, like I said, to get through today. Sometimes we do deal with things at work. There's always stressors at work. Sometimes work is more stressful than our home lives. Okay, so to get this down, I'm not too worried about tacking it completely down. I do want that handle down, which I can put down in glue. But I'm just going to take this wee little score tape and just see if I might have to cut that lip some. I think that lip is too high. And it doesn't allow it to stay flat. So we'll get that cut off. All right, and then when we get this done, I think we're almost done. Then I'll start thinking about tomorrow. I don't focus on the affirmation of the next day, but I do have to try to plan out what we're going to do. Okay, so then get that down, and then I'll just around the edge in a few spots, I'll get it down. And the tape will be hidden behind that little rim. And you can use this for any kind of little project where you want to focus in on something. Again, to find handles, I use a website called Raw Pixel. And on the Raw Pixel, I do have a membership to them, which I pay, I think it's $20 a month, which is kind of high, I guess. But all the images are, once you have a membership with them, are free. So they have premium images, and they have, and they have free ones. So you don't have to pay. There's a lot of free images that you can download and use. A lot of them are from the public domain. So you're free to use them however you want. You can't sell the image itself, but you could print it off and use it in your projects, or sell it if you sell your project work, if you sell journals and stuff. So I get a lot of images from there. Okay, so let's get, I think that's looking good. Okay, so we got that down. Let's just secure our handle. Now this was glossy, out of a glossy magazine, this handle. So I did just glue it onto a little bit of cardstock. All right, so let's get our book in here. And we have a little a little notebook. So then the last thing, I guess, is I just want to do something about those little flowers. And you're probably saying, oh, I'd go with the enamel dots. And somebody's probably saying, oh, I'd go with the little gem. I think I'm going to go with the gem because I do like the little bling bling. So I do use a pair of tweezers usually to get those off. And I think this little size is perfect. You can get them in there. So I hope you enjoyed today's little tutorial. Maybe it's inspired you, maybe it's focused in on your faith, or even if it's the faith in yourself or your fellow human being. So yeah, so thanks for joining me, and I hope to be back tomorrow with day 9. So until we meet again, I hope that you have faith in yourself and in today. Stay safe and happy, and bye for now.